Welcome back, everybody, to the Rooted Lifestyle Podcast. We are your hosts, Camryn and Justus Woods.
Welcome back, everyone.
First things first, we wanted to say that we are almost at 1,000 views on Spotify, or plays.
1,000 plays on Spotify, which is great. Actually, I don't know if that's great because I don't know what like the average is, but I feel like 1,000 is good.
It's a good milestone, and I just had 1,000 on YouTube, so I feel like it's a good milestone.
We have almost 30 episodes, and over the last couple of months, and it's almost 1,000 plays. So thank you all for listening. We could have 30 plays. The one and that one play would be to us each episode. So somebody is listening.
So somebody's listening. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. But yeah, we just love sharing things that we're passionate about and having open and honest conversation with you guys and with one another. So
yeah,
thank you guys for listening and for your continued support, because we are going to keep doing this until
we die.
I don't know about that. Until life gets way too busy. But we've enjoyed it this far. So thank you guys all for listening.
Yep. So what are we talking about today then? Or you want me to take it?
No, I got it. So, okay. The idea for today's episode was to talk about how to kind of get healthy. Like, so many people on social media have been coming to me, asking Justus, and in person, they've just been asking us, like, what do you do to be healthy? Like, where can I start? Is it nutrition? Is it fitness? Is it sleep? What is it basically? And so we were like, wow, it is really hard for people who don't have a passion or a knowledge base about health,
because there's so much information out there and so much information that's contradictory to each other that it's so hard to be like, okay, I want to get healthy. Where do I start?
Right. And so we are dedicating this episode, part one.
Yes,
part one.
We've dedicated 2 episodes on where to start if you want to get healthier. So we've kind of bucketed into a couple different topics. So, but yeah, as Camryn said, it makes us very happy when people reach out to us and kind of, want to pick our brain about something that we're really passionate about. And hopefully maybe this podcast episode will stir up more questions. You could always email us at, what is our email?
TheRootedLifestylePodcast@gmail.com.
At TheRootedLifestylePodcast@gmail.com. Also on Instagram, The Rooted Lifestyle Podcast, on TikTok. So if you have any questions or anything, or you could just text Camryn.
I mean, if you guys...
If you have a phone number.
If you don't have my phone number, that you don't need it. But yes, I think that this is so important, and it's really cool to see people wanting to be healthy, to be the best selves, because health can go in so many directions. Like, it can benefit your mental health, your physical health. It can benefit your brain, preventing diseases and all of this stuff. And we've seen firsthand how to like prevent inflammation and little things in our bodies.
And how diets, even with like your eczema, like how changing your diet can actually change, like chronic illnesses. It could actually change things about your body.
Food is medicine.
So you don't need to get these over the counter like medications all the time. We're not like anti-medicine and all that, but we do believe that a lot of things can be taken care of by the way that you eat.
Totally agree.
And the way that you health overall. So like the way that you like working out and having recovery and all those things. So
for sure,
we know that health journeys is not always the easiest, especially if you're first starting out. But even we find it difficult to still remain on track. And I feel like when you do, it's hard to have, when you don't have like a clear purpose and a goal, like you're not training for a marathon, you're not doing something. It's hard to, wake up every morning and choose to eat the right stuff, wake up every morning, choose to go work out and stay motivated.
But I think when you know in your heart of like, I will be healthier now and in the long run, it's like, okay, that could be your goal. Like literally anything you want it to be.
And it's a long road and it takes a while to see the benefits, but I feel like when you do see the benefits, it's something that you want to continue to stick to. So I would just say getting started is the hardest part, but it's probably the best thing that you would do. But anyway, this is why we're dedicating 2 episodes about this topic. But we want to caveat by saying we're mostly going to be speaking from experience here. We've done some research on a few things, just kind of give some nuances around kind of why we do what we do. And granted, Camryn's is a NASM CPT, so she has like a lot of information about that stuff as well. But it's mainly just from our experience. We know that not everybody's the same. People are going to tell you, if people listen to one part of what we say and they'll be like, oh, that's not true. Well, I mean, it's not subjective, but at the same time, everybody's body is different and it reacts to food differently. So always do your own research, always do your own like testing, but more often than not, what we're going to say is probably like 90% of the best.
Knowledge.
Yeah. Is the best path forward. For a lot
100%. I mean, like Justus said, we're more or less giving out opinion, but also factual information and speaking from experience. So don't take every single thing we say and be like, oh, that's wrong or that's right, or just because it worked for us doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. Like little things that you guys will find throughout the episode that are specific to us.
But don't make it an excuse not to do it.
Exactly. Don't be
as long as you're doing something.
Yeah. So we're going to keep to this and answer some simple questions. And so Justus,
let's get started.
Where do I start if I want to get healthy?
So we're breaking this down into 3 key pillars. So 1 is nutrition, 2 is exercise, and 3 is recovery.
But today is only going to be about nutrition.
So today we'll talk about nutrition today, and then our next episode will cover exercise and recovery. 1, because it would be way too long to talk about all those things because there's so much information, and I can't even retain that much information. And 2, we feel like nutrition is like the key foundation of being healthy, because it's like what you put into your body fuels basically how you exercise, how you recover.
Yeah.
It's
how you
fueling
sleep,
your body.
How you think, how you, everything.
If you put the wrong fuel into the car, then it may not work.
Diesel in a
don't put diesel in your normal car. So we'll keep it simple with a list of foods that we believe you should either remove or limit in your diet, and then a list of foods that we believe you should put into your diet or add to your diet. And this is based on some research that we've done, as well as just the foods that we eat on a normal day-to-day basis. Doesn't mean you should never have these foods, but it's just a simple way to stay on track. I know there's a lot of conversation around, especially with weight loss, like calories in versus calories out. That's not something that we do, which is not a problem if you do that. But we feel like when you know the types of foods that you put into your body, there's no need to really restrict them.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not eating, like you're like, oh, I ate 1,000 calories. I have room to eat a 500 calorie brownie. Like we don't do that. It's more so just like we know the types of whole foods that we put into our body.
Right.
And it allows us to kind of live more flexible. And I think that's the key to living a healthy lifestyle too, is sustainability. You want to be able to have a diet and have a lifestyle that you can maintain throughout, not just something that you press in and go hard for a couple of months and then you completely revert back the next week.
100%. Like we've talked about 80-20 before. We have an episode on that. So if you want to go back and listen to it, that's pretty much how we live our life. So we're just going to go through foods that we don't necessarily ingest all the time, but don't get us wrong. We enjoy having fun too. We eat foods that are not healthy for us and we know it, but that's the balance. You have to find balance in it. So the first thing that we believe you should limit if you want to continue onto a healthy lifestyle would be refined sugars. So tons of examples are like high fructose corn syrup, sodas, just anything that's not natural. Yeah.
And the key behind that is that it's addictive and it's pro-inflammatory and it adds empty calories into your body. Now, I know a lot of people say sugar, like in any food, is broken down into sugar into your body and it converts into energy for your body. So sugar is not bad. There is a huge difference between refined sugar and like natural sugar from fruits and stuff. So the key difference there is that the fructose, because there's fructose in both fruit and in like the refined sugars like sodas, candy, things like that. The only difference is the fruit in the fructose in fruit comes with, fiber and other nutrients along with the fructose that is actually good for your body. The refined sugar, it's literally just fructose. So you're basically only getting the negative portion of what sugar is into your body. Fructose is nothing for your body. You don't need it to do anything. And that's what food is for your body. Food should be something that you ingest that your body needs in order to perform a function. And fructose and all those refined sugars don't have a function. So it causes the inflammation. It causes you to be addicted. We've even seen it in our lifestyles too.
Oh my gosh, y'all. There was this one period of time before the Whole30 when I would eat these Enjoy Life chocolate chips, and I will eat them till the day I die, 100%. I eat them every single freaking night. And they were like gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, soy-free, nut-free.
Yeah.
But they still were not good. It's a refined sugar. And I was addicted. Every single night when we were done with dinner, I reached right for those chocolate chips. And I saw firsthand the addiction. Addiction to Diet Coke, to all these sodas that they literally, Dr. Pepper, they can't go a day without it. It makes sense. It is literally addictive to our brains and our bodies. And
I will say this, even like you were talking about the Enjoy Life chocolate chips, even the quote unquote healthy things, like people talk about like these different types of sodas or drinks. And it's like, oh, I can drink this every day because it's healthy.
Yeah.
Yes, it's better for you, but you shouldn't have that every day because you're still getting that form of like sugar in your body, and your body just starts to crave it. I mean, even we try to limit the amount of the protein ice cream, the creamy Ninja Creamy, because I find myself at night, I'm like, after dinner, it's like I want something sweet, and then if we don't have Ninja Creamy, I start to go to something else. So it's like it's a ripple effect, and you may not see it at first, but it's definitely something that can like be harmful to you down the line.
Honestly, take a minute, pause, think if there's any things that you're like, wow, I find myself reaching for this soda every single day, even if it's like a quote unquote healthy soda. Like, see if you're addicted to it. See if you're addicted to sugars or I don't know, anything that has fructose in it, and just like pay attention to that in your life and be like, wow, I maybe should take a break from this cycle because it's not the cycle that I need to go down for like an awesome, healthy life.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think it's going to kill you, but
no, I mean, obviously we're never, if you've listened to us before, like we're never going to completely like cut out things forever.
Right.
We enjoy it. We go to social things. We enjoy what we enjoy, but still we understand. It's all about knowledge and understanding what those things are doing to you. So when you're eating them and you understand like, oh, I'm craving this because, you know, my body is used to it because the fructose is an addictive, and now I'm becoming more and more addicted to it.
Literally, fun fact, we were just at Whole Foods an hour ago and I bought the Enjoy Life chocolate chips, and I haven't eaten them since Whole30.
They're dangerous.
They're so dangerous, but I know myself and I know that I'm not going to eat them every single night, so I don't have that addictive trait of like reaching for them. Okay, first thing, refined sugars.
So,
second thing.
Yep. Key number 1 is as much as possible, limit refined sugars.
Second thing, simple carbs. So what are simple carbs? Your white breads, your white pastas, your candy, your sodas, most cereals, foods that literally have like, I swear, no nutritious value. Donuts, things that you just think about that it's just carbs.
So the difference between simple and complex carbs is essentially complex carbs, it takes a longer time for your body to process and digest. Simple carbs, it's like your body processes them a lot quicker. So basically your blood sugar spikes, which can lead to, you know, cardiovascular problems like blood vessel constriction, things like that. People will say, you know, having like bread and stuff, pastas, that's why people have these things before they do a huge workout, because your body needs that and needs that
quick energy.
Yeah, that quick energy. So I will say that is a caveat there, where it's like in the conditions where you're about to get in a high stress, high like
a hit interval,
high activity workout. Then you need the quick energy. Yes. But for the most part, for people who are just sitting around afterwards, those things are going to burn so much quicker in your body, and it will also make you more hungry. Yeah. So it'll digest quickly. That's why you find yourself when you eat like a bowl of pasta with no protein or anything, an hour later, you're like, I'm so hungry.
And I'm like, wait, I'm starving. And it's like, because it didn't sustain you at all, which is frustrating, but it makes sense. Like, listen to the science and the reasoning behind everything we're saying. Like, there is factual evidence there of like, yes, it's cheap to buy from the store, and you may think it fills you up for those 10 minutes, but then literally an hour later, you're starving. And so it's actually not helping you. It's just honestly putting in more calories, which we don't care about. Yeah. But if you are confused and you're like, why can I not lose weight? Why am I not on track? Okay, maybe see if you're eating tons of refined sugars or simple carbs.
And this is why we talk about why we don't particularly love like the carbs in, carbs out ideas, because we want to know calories
in, calories out.
Yeah, calories in, carbs. Yeah, calories in, calories out.
Yeah.
Just because we want to know what those like calories, we want to know what those carbs are, because that can be the difference between you having like a terrible time like between your eating and having a good time. If you know that what you're eating, like more simple carbs, you're going to be literally starving like through the next, like you're going to be restricting yourself, you're going to be starving.
Yes, it can go into a very bad
versus
cycle.
You know that eating complex carbs will help your body will digest it slower. It'll be more easier to maintain.
You'll stay full,
and you'll stay more
satisfied.
full, and you'll be more satisfied. Better for your body. More nutrients in complex carbs like sweet potatoes and things, just than like white breads and stuff. So that's kind of the main reason why we try to stick to the more of the lifestyle than like carbs or calories in versus calories out.
And I think one really cool thing, well, I guess it's not cool, but one thing about simple carbs that we tend to think about is inflammation. So inflammation in the body can be really hard to pinpoint, but there is evidence that simple carbs can produce inflammation. And that is because like, it's just like literally not benefiting you at all. It's just inflaming you with all the oils, with all the crap, the fillers that they're putting in it.
And I feel like a lot of people say inflammation a lot all the time, like everything causes inflammation. And just for context, like I had to do research on this too, because I was like, everybody just throws out the word inflammation, like, oh, that's an inflammatory. Oh, that's a whatever. And it's like, okay, what does that actually mean?
Right.
So when we say inflammatory, we mean bacterial overgrowth in the gut, which is basically bad bacteria filling your body. So your body responds by increased swelling into your gut and digestive system in order to heal your body. So
inflammation can come out as like acne. It can come out as bloating. It can come out as leaky gut. It can mean a bad recovery from a surgery. Like, it's insane how inflammation can take over your body. But yeah. So on the topic of simple carbs, kind of, sort of, not really. I'm a little biased with this opinion because I am gluten-free. But I think that if you're kind of like, okay, what can I take maybe away from my daily habits that I know are not good for me? I do believe that cutting out gluten in America, I do need to specify if you live in America, because it's a little different in other places. But if you're in America, I think that cutting out gluten can only benefit people. It would never harm you to not eat gluten. And I say that so seriously because I researched it in school, and it's really terrifying that if you look at America versus Europe, the amount of gluten, which gluten is a protein, so people get confused because they're like, why? And gluten's a binding agent. Yeah,
it's basically, it holds together the bread, and it's a natural binding agent, natural protein found in it. But go ahead.
Yes, but in America, there is this like FDA approved something, a law type of thing, like a food law or something, act or something, that we allow like so much more gluten into our gluten products. So it's like an overdose of gluten.
It's very loosely regulated in the US as compared to Europe.
Because it's cheap.
Because it's cheap. Yeah. And it's like, it's easy for, breads to be filled with more gluten because it's a binding agent. It allows food to last on the shelf longer.
Yes.
So you want to make more, you want it to last longer. And so you put more, and the additives and stuff that is in the gluten that we have. It's just not the pure natural protein that is found in wheat and things like that in Europe, and there's just a lot more of it. So we tend to stay away from it, one, because Camryn's actually allergic to it, and
it's not good.
Two, like, even just try taking a break from gluten, and you can realize that when you go back to it, your body cannot digest and digest it as much as it used to.
And it's really crazy. I know we've said before of like trying to eliminate things for a period of time and then go back to eating it to see how your body reacts. Your body is so smart, and it will tell you when things are beneficial or things are like not good. Like, sometimes when I have a bucket of M&Ms and I haven't had them in a long time, my stomach literally hurts. Like, I'm not being dramatic. It's just like there was so much excess crap in there that is not filling me up or benefiting me at all. And my body's literally saying, please don't eat that again. Like, I'm dying. I'm still going to sometimes, but it's just, you have to have a good balance between enjoying it every single day versus enjoying it on like a special occasion or something like that. Yeah. So yes, that is something that people don't really see eye to eye on, but do your research. I'm not kidding you guys. Like, the way that America allows gluten is very different than Europe and a lot of other places. So far, where do I start to get healthy? Foods to limit if you can. 1, refined sugars. 2 is simple carbs. The third one is a very controversial topic, which is very interesting. And I did a lot of research on this. And it's actually pretty funny because there's so much back and forth between you look on TikTok, oh, milk is good for you, drink raw milk, like, oh, milk is terrible for you, it's only meant for cows. So we're going to dive into that a little bit deeper. I find it very interesting. You may not, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. One, I will say dairy, we limit dairy as much as we can, just because with some people it's harder to digest, and that's just being lactose intolerant. But I'll tell you right now, if I'm in a Mexican restaurant, first thing I'm ordering is queso. Yeah. And then I pay for it later with my stomach issues. Exactly. So lactose intolerance occurs when your small intestine doesn't produce enough enzymes to digest the milk, the milk sugar. Basically, some dairy foods that undergo like a fermentation process, such as like a Greek yogurt or some cheeses, have lower lactose. That's why people are able to digest those a lot better, like your Greek yogurts, more than like whole milk. Yeah. Which gets to the huge trend around raw milk. I just started hearing about this trend, which is so interesting. There's a lot of fitness influencer people, or like health influencer, like biohackers. Yeah, there are some podcasters that I listen to that are big. There are some biohackers, and they're like, people. America doesn't want you to know that you can drink raw milk because they don't want you to be healthy. They don't want your bones and stuff. And I found that so interesting because when I was looking, I flipped and I saw people saying that, but then I flipped and then I saw a doctor saying like raw milk is absolutely not. You should not drink raw milk at all. And it's so funny just to see the differences between the two. Also, keep in mind we don't just get our facts from
We
TikTok.
get all information from TikTok.
Like, you were just talking about TikTok for only this, and I was like, we need to tell them that we don't just go to
No,
TikTok.
yeah, no. I was just
a raw
this was
milk
just
thing.
pure, like, this was something about raw milk that had nothing to do with.
I promise we go to like legit places to get information.
If you don't know what raw milk is unpasteurized milk. So typically when you're getting milk from the store, it's taken from the cow, it's heated up to a certain temperature to kill all of the bad bacteria that is in the milk.
That can like harm you.
That can harm you. So people that are drinking raw milk, people say that the pasteurization process kills the good bacteria as well as the bad. So you're getting a lot more benefit for your gut microbiome when you're actually drinking the raw milk that has not been pasteurized.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I've never tried it.
But it's funny. It's actually illegal in some states, so you can't actually buy. I know you can buy it in like California and stuff, but there are certain places where you actually can't buy raw milk because it's not regulated. I won't go into the details and say if it's good or bad. I will say, for the sake of like raw milk, you do have a higher risk of developing if the cow or if the cow that you're drinking from has a disease or anything, that disease is in the milk. So you have a higher likelihood of getting the bad bacteria, but you also have the good bacteria that is good for your gut microbiome that is still left in there. So it's a risk, but that doesn't mean that there's not a benefit to it. So I think that, raw milk in that form of dairy has a lot of nutrients that could be beneficial for you, but I would also be cautious and do your own research around like the different diseases that you could develop. But I think overall dairy is just something that a lot of people just can't digest, which leads to increased inflammation, which is why we tend to stay away from it. But like Camryn said, we'll always still, eat queso and stuff.
I will always indulge. Also, like a lot of my friends have come to me and been like, okay, my skin is really, really bad. Like, is there anything that you would suggest, like more holistically, functionally, that I should try? Honestly, first thing I say is go dairy free, because dairy has a direct link to inflammation, and it has been proven time and time and time and time and time again. And so I say, if you're struggling with acne, please try to go completely dairy free for at least 3 months to get it all out of your system. Stick with it. Be passionate about it. See if you get any results after the 3 months, because people are just so quick to go to the dermatologist and just throw some acne medicine at you, and it's not supposed to be.
It doesn't hurt to try.
It doesn't exactly. Literally, what is going to harm you if you go dairy free? Nothing.
Yeah.
3 months of no queso. Oh no, what are you gonna do?
That's actually tough.
No, that is tough. But you can do it. I've done it for so many periods of my life. But yeah, so let's talk about the foods that you should have in your diet and your lifestyle, because that is way more important than the foods that you should take out of your diet, honestly. So what we stick to, 2 answers. The first one, whole foods. The second one, protein.
Whole Foods is in like, not the store.
I'm just kidding. Not the store. Like genuine Whole Foods. Like, we'll go into it. But yeah, right now we're going to go into it. So Whole Foods, we mean like fruits, your vegetables, your oats, your whole grains, your... What
eggs,
else? Potatoes,
nuts,
eggs,
beans,
leafy greens.
Basically anything that's not processed.
Correct. Like the purest form of it. So eating whole, unprocessed foods is like the literal key to living a healthy lifestyle. Like, it will never harm you to eat healthy. And I think it's an extra added bonus if you can get the organic ones. Like, we always buy organic fruit, vegetables, and protein. Yeah. Just because there's a lot of processed crap in it and fillers that your body is not going to benefit from.
So getting the organic helps to, make sure that there's a good amount of those aren't included in the food that you're eating. So yeah, so Whole Foods is the number one. I will say for the Whole Foods portion, we tend to stay away from grains, or Camryn more so does, because it can be an inflammatory.
I have an inflammatory response to it.
For some of the, so we tend to stay away, but typically we do like a quinoa or a brown rice and turmeric pasta, something like that. Just because there is some benefit with like the fiber and stuff that's included in those more whole grains.
Yeah, there's definitely nutrients.
So there is nutrients as well. Foods. So we're not anti carbs. We're not anti grains. We're not anti all that. So
no.
So yes, Whole Foods is number one. The second is protein. And I know this is also a controversial topic because, some of the healthiest people you may know are vegans or vegetarians, but we especially me, well, we're both very of the opinion that meat is the best source of protein that you can have because it has all the essential amino acids that your body needs. Vegetables do not give you the full amino acid chain. And when I say amino acids, I mean basically the things that are required for the synthesis of your body protein and other important nitrogen containing compounds that basically lead to, muscle growth and recovery in your body. So all of those things, you need the full amino acid chain in order to have that synthesis of protein in your body. I know for some people, they say that meat is hard to digest, and I definitely hear that, especially like older people. I know a lot. I've watched a lot of interviews of, people who are a bit older, and
as you age,
and they say that as you age, it's harder. It's harder to digest a lot of things when you get older. So you switching to that may be more important at that point in your life. But I'd say if you're young, if you're healthy, then eating meat is definitely the way to go because it gives you all the protein that you need.
So one thing I will say about that really quickly is I like to think about it this way. So I've heard vegans and vegetarians talk about their diet and all the benefits, but the one thing I can't get out of my head is the fact that you have to supplement with vitamins and minerals. But to me, the most important place to get your vitamins and minerals is food, whole foods, real foods. And so that to me just doesn't line up. But if you have to, and a doctor has said to you, do not eat protein, do not eat meat, of course, listen to them. That's just something that I can't really wrap my brain around, probably because we both eat a lot of meat.
Exactly.
But this is our opinion, 100%. If vegan is great for you, do it.
And it's the type of meat that you get. Like we get like the grass-fed beef, bison. We get like lean turkey, lean
wild-caught
chicken,
salmon.
wild-caught salmon.
Yeah.
So it's all about too. You could easily find meat that has a bunch of different antibiotics and stuff filled in it, and it's not good for you. But when you eat, natural, organic, grass-fed meat, there's so much nutrients in it that it's so important. And like you said, there's things in meat that you would need to like supplement with like other things in order to get those nutrients that you would normally get in just your overall diet.
Like vegans are supposed to take absolutely so many supplements and minerals.
So overall, I want to get healthy. Where do I start? So foods to limit as best you can: refined sugars, simple carbs, and dairy. Potentially. Dairy's kind of like a...
maybe not.
But foods to add, whole foods. So we're talking fruits, we're talking vegetables, we're talking nuts, we're talking whole grains, and then protein. Add protein into your diet.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yep.
Huge. So to give you guys some inspo of some meals that we eat, bison burgers and sweet potatoes, or ground turkey with potatoes and broccoli, dairy-free buffalo chicken, spaghetti squash casserole, turkey burgers in a bowl. Like it's like a little turkey burger patty on a salad, which is fun.
Brown rice pasta with like ground bison meat sauce.
Yeah.
I think the list really goes on. And it's funny because you may get to a point where you're like eating the same thing every day. Honestly, simple is better, I would say. And of course, there's so many different healthy recipes out there that you can get, but you can sometimes find yourself buying these random ingredients from the store, which you should definitely be careful of. And I'll go to that in a second, but you find yourself buying these random ingredients that you may only use once for one recipe. So don't be discouraged or don't be like, if your meals are boring and simple. That means that it's most likely like it's in it. Right. That it's whole food. So it may kind of be repetitive and a little bit boring. And
that's why cooking at home is really important.
Yes, cooking at home is so important. And I thank you for saying that. I was going to mention that because you know exactly what you're putting into your body at that point. But we do use a lot of different like sauces and things from
Primal Kitchen,
from places that we know have very regulated and healthy ingredients in it. So Primal Kitchen is one example. Gotham Greens, we use them for pesto. It basically, you read on the back of the label, you want the least amount of ingredients as possible, and you want to be able to know what they are.
You want to be able to pronounce them.
Yeah,
like that is like the funniest thing for me. But I think that one of the biggest reasons we're so passionate about it is because when we do this, our body can truly feel the rewards of it.
Yeah.
Like not even looking at us necessarily. It's just like physically, I have energy. I'm ready for the day. I'm ready for the week. I feel good. I feel confident. Like it just makes me feel so much better,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We love that.
Yeah. So in terms of we talked about the food and stuff. There is a portion of like a little piece to touch on is the vitamins and supplements piece. I know that you mentioned that earlier. We have a whole podcast episode about that, vitamins and supplements, what we take. I think that is another way to kind of, ensure that you're getting your daily nutrients and your daily vitamins in there. And then we also take supplements like collagen for just like hair, muscle, and skin development. And then also we take creatine for muscle growth and ATP production. And AG1. I can't forget about AG1.
Our
Because we take AG1, we take the greens. But we have a whole episode dedicated to that. But those things also kind of when you start continuing down your fitness journey or your health journey, you can start bringing along these extra added pieces that will push you that much further. But the firm foundation is what you eat.
Absolutely, 100%. So we hope this didn't overwhelm you guys. We hope it wasn't too much information. We're just passionate about it. Of course, like Justus said, if you have any questions or concerns or thoughts, you can text me, you can email us, you can DM us on Instagram. But next week, pigeon us. Oh my gosh. But next week, get excited because we're going to talk about fitness or exercise and recovery because those two are very important.
Very important.
So thank you guys for listening.
Yep. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.